man? It's good, Commanders fans. I know a lot of people are up in arms and going crazy over this pick. Personally, I'm not. I already graded it last night. I gave it a B plus. Now, I get it. There were some good players available at pick 11. Kyle Hamilton, Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams, I was a little iffy on because of injury. Kyle Hamilton, I think he would have been a good pick. But of course, there are concerns of him moving backward or backpedaling in coverage. But of course, if you use him correctly, you can do a lot of things to use him as that Buffalo nickel, a guy that is good moving forward and stopping a run, cutting off tight ends. He can do that, run sideline to sideline. So I get all that. Or even getting Olave. I would have been fine with Olave at pick 11. I really believe in Olave's creating separation and his talent. I 100% believe in Olave. I think Olave is going to be a darn good wide receiver. And it's just funny that the Saints traded with us to get our pick and then they get Olave. I think where people are upset too is because they think Ron traded back because, they took Drake London, Garrett Wilson was off the board. People are thinking that Ron thought that, hey, I can get Olave at pick 16 or I can get Kyle Hamilton at pick 16 because he almost did drop to pick 16. The Ravens got him at 15. So we'll see. He's going to be right down the street, I-95. So we're going to be seeing him a lot on TV with the Ravens. It is what it is. I'm going to say some positive about Jahan Dotson, some more stats that I found, numbers and stuff. Like I said last night, he killed Maryland. I know Maryland's not a good defensive team. They're not a good team at all. I'm a Maryland fan, and I know this. But putting up 242 yards against a college Division I Big Ten conference team is legit. That's nothing to stick your nose up. And I want to say some things that Ron Rivera said. But I like the pick. He's a good player, man. He's shifty. He's good at double moves. He can get open. He's got good hands. The best hands in the draft, or the second best hands in the draft, is what the consensus is saying. Now, let's look here at some numbers I found. Now, at a 93 targets, let me find the stat here real quick. At a 93 targets, so yeah, hands are not a problem. He had a 2.2% drop rate last season, which is the lowest in all of college football. Very impressive catch radius for someone of his size. 5'11", 178 pounds, very small, but he plays bigger than what he is. Plays bigger than what he is. Per PFF, he only dropped 2 of 93 catchable targets last season. That's legit. That's good hands. That's good hands right there. That's legit. Olave also, he had an 87.2 receiving grade, which is 13th in college football, all the wide receivers. 87.5 overall PFF grade, 1,182 yards receiving. So, the guy is legit. This is another write-up, too. Has a diverse route tree, excels in the short game, blocks consistently downfield, might be the best route runner in the class, light frame, 5'11", 178 pounds. Could be a bit faster off the line. He runs a 4.4, not a 4.3. Had a round 2 grade. So, this is what somebody wrote up before, too. So, but his comparison, Tyler Lockett, Randall Cobb, Emmanuel Sanders, Martin Mayhew, and Ron Rivera comparing him to Deshaun Jackson, which I don't 100% agree with, but I can see where they're going with it. A quick, speedy slot receiver that has a lot of change of direction. He's not a one-speed guy. That's the thing with Diami. That's like the thing that Diami needs to work on, is being more than just a go route guy. Jahan Dotson's not that. He can run a lot of routes, comeback routes, intermediate slants, dig routes, all kinds of stuff. He has a very versatile route tree. That's the thing with Treylon Burks. I know Treylon Burks was available after them. I want to say he was 2 picks after Jahan Dotson. And I just feel like Jahan Dotson just has more of a versatile route tree. So there's another write-up, too, saying that the Packers were interested in Jahan Dotson. He says, surprising for the 6th receiver. So, yeah, they said Dotson is a better version of Randall Cobb with maybe the best hands in the draft. Started 38 games ahead, 183 catches at Penn State. The knock on Dotson, he's not as physically strong as his peers, and he'll need to be feistier and a little bulkier to be a consistent weapon for Aaron Rodgers. This was a mock draft that somebody wrote up as well. So, but I think he's a good player. The value of the pick is the question, because even he said it himself. He said he was watching the Suns Pelican game and he didn't think he was going to be drafted that high. So that is, is that showing that Ron Rivera and Martin Mayhew reached for Jahan Dotson? It kind of does. He didn't even think he's going to be picked at 16. Are they panicking? Was it a panic move because, guys that they wanted got drafted? Those are arguments that are fair arguments, in my opinion. They're fair arguments. Did they panic to trade 2/3 for Carson Wentz or a third and a second for Carson Wentz. Has this offseason been somewhat of a panic move? You trade Carson Wentz for picks, and then you cut guys after that to create salary cap space. And then now, after trading Carson Wentz, you're kind of forcing your hand is forced to get more picks. You know, that's what it kind of sounded like in the press conference. Those are the arguments I have. But I like Jahan Dotson. I think it's a good pick. And I know the corny thing to say is, oh, Dotson. They're completely different players. Josh Dotson, 6'5", couldn't separate for nothing. Had hands like a snake, couldn't catch the football at all. Jahan Dotson has the best hands, or top 5 best hands in the draft. So I think it's a good pick. I like the player. It's not a great pick, but I think it's a solid pick. That's what I'll say. This is from JP Finlay. I'll read some tweets too. So, this is from Matt Harmon. It said, best hands in the draft, lowest drop rate, and ranked 4th in contested catch rate, 81.3%. Best zone beater in the class with a 96 percentile success rate, Doug Baldwin comp. It's a good comp right there. Tyler Lockett has been a comp. JP Finlay, this is a quote. So he said, we've heard a lot about versatility, but Rivera zeroed in on Dotson's interior route running as a great advantage. That means he's playing the slot position. Now, this is interesting, too, because, Curtis Samuel, he can play on the outside, but he excelled with the Panthers playing in the slot receiver. So Terry, of course, is going to be your outside guy. And then Jahan Dotson, he can play outside, too. But it will be interesting to see how the fit is with those guys. I think the opening day starting 3 wide receivers, of course, is going to be Terry. If Curtis is healthy, Terry, Curtis, and Jahan Dotson. That's got to be the starting 3. So Jahan Dotson called it amazing to get drafted by the Commanders from JP Finlay as well. Dotson only met with Washington one time, so all the top 30 visits we talked about and all that, of course, they don't draft a guy in the first round that they had a top 30 visit with. Met with Washington once with wide receiver coach Drew Terrell, and said getting picked by the Commanders was a surprise. So, once again, after trading, this from P. Haley, after trading back to 16, Martin Mayhew says the Commanders could have traded back again, but didn't want to pass on Jahan Dotson. So, I heard they got 3 calls. They got 3 calls to trade back. So they still could have traded back and got some people, but they really, really like Jahan Dotson. They like the value there, and they really wanted to get him. So Ron Rivera said before the draft, they want to add playmakers and guys to protect his quarterback, Carson Wentz. So Jahan Dotson is a playmaker. That's one thing that you can't. He's a legitimate playmaker. Martin Mayhew says on Jahan Dotson, first off, they liked him. Speed, playmaking ability, competitive when the ball is in the air. That's for sure. Ron Rivera said Jahan Dotson reminds him of Deshaun Jackson, Steve Smith, among others. Some good praise there. Martin Mayhew says Dotson has tremendous ball skills and adds punt return ability. Like I said, he broke the record at Penn State with 24 yards per punt return. So that's a positive sign as well. Torrey Smith said the same thing that I said on Twitter. I watched Jahan Dotson play against my Terps in person, and the man can ball. Terry, Curtis, and Jahan Dotson are like lightning in a bottle. That's an explosive group for Carson to work with. I like it. So I think it's a solid pick, man. I'll read one more review here too. They gave us a B. This is CBSSports.com. They gave us a B on the pick, which is basically where I'm with B plus. They trade back Atlanta receiver who will give them more juice in the passing game. They needed to help Carson Wentz, and Dotson will give them another speed player, landing the extra picks, and getting a good receiver makes this a good move. So I think it's a solid pick, man. I know Nakobe Dean was there. He's still on the board, actually. Devin Lloyd was on the board, but I'm not about, getting another first-round linebacker, another off-ball linebacker in the first round. I just couldn't do it this year. We had to add some offensive talent, in my opinion. Is it the right guy? Jahan Dotson played 80% of his snaps on the outside as well. So he's more than just a slot guy. And the quarterback play that he got was not the best quarterback play in the world. So he was able to create and get open and make plays with, average quarterback play at best. So yeah, let's look at some of the guys that are available, that are still out there. But it's an interesting pick, man. I never thought we were gonna get him, but it is what it is, and I understand. And I honestly, when Washington fans or Commanders fans most likely don't like something, like Terry McLaurin, nobody liked the Terry McLaurin pick at all. Like nobody liked it. So I'm fine with that. Typically when fans, the majority of people don't like a pick. Sometimes there's times where the guy turns out to play very well. Okay, so let's look at some of the people available here. real quick. So guys that are still, Malik Willis is still on the board. He's still available. Breece Hall is still available at 47. So I'm looking at a mock draft on Pro Football Network. So Lewisine was drafted by the Vikings. So there's still a lot of guys that are available in the second round. Nakobe Dean, Andrew Booth Jr. out of Clemson, Jaquan Brisker, Perion Winfrey, the defensive tackle out of Oklahoma. Matt Corral, I want to say he got drafted. Kenneth Walker, the running back, he's still available. Chad Muma is still available. There's a lot of talent. Troy Anderson is a guy that I would definitely take a look at. Linebacker out of Montana State, has a lot of versatility. He played running back. He played quarterback before, but he can play linebacker. He still has that speed and the instincts to and that sideline to sideline speed, can really cover as well. Can really cover tight ends and can cover wide receivers in the slot too. So Carson Strong is still out there too. I wouldn't get a quarterback, to be honest with you. Who else? There's a couple of safeties out there. Nick Cross is still out there in the second round. You can get him. Jalen Petrie has not been drafted yet. There's a couple tight ends out there. Trey McBride, he might be there at 47. Leo Chenal. In my mock draft, I had us getting Breece Hall at pick 61. So I would not be mad if we got Breece Hall at all. Breece Hall is a 3-down back and catch out the backfield, can make guys miss in a phone booth, all that. Very patient runner as well. Trey McBride, we could definitely look at a tight end. Isaiah Likely out of Coastal Carolina. Like I said, Leo Chenal out of Wisconsin. There's some good players available. There's some good players still. Jeremy Ruckert out of Ohio State. There's a lot of guys that can still be had in the second and in the third round. And in the third round for sure. Tyler Beatty out of Missouri. So there's still some good players that can be picked up for sure. There's still some good players that can be picked up. What else do we need? Corner. You look at cornerback. Roger McCreary hasn't been picked yet. That's that's a guy that I know the Commanders do like. Like I said, Chad Muma, Troy Anderson. Those are the linebackers you take a look at. Darian Bevers at a Cincinnati. That's somebody to keep your eye on. Perion Winfrey is still available too in the second round. So there's some good talent. There's some good players that can definitely be picked in the second and third round. Those are some guys that I would certainly look at. Nakobe Dean is still there. If he's there at pick 47, then yeah. Ron got lucky. He worked his magic right there for sure. But like I said, my pick at 47, I wouldn't be mad at Breece Hall at all. Trey McBride, one of those guys, or Chad Muma, Troy Anderson. Those are the four names that I'm really looking at that pick. And then the third round, yeah, you probably get it like a linebacker, not another linebacker, running back or something like that. So we'll see. All right, you guys, let me know what you guys think. Hail to Commanders. Peace.